What we have said so far is strategy is actually equal to innovation. And there are two fundamentally different types of innovations. In box one, you are doing linear innovation. Innovation that is consistent with your current business model. In box two, box three, you are doing non-linear innovation, which is not consistent with your current business model. It fundamentally transforms the current business model. What are some of the examples? The $500 ECG machine that GE innovated is a non-linear innovation compared to their $20,000 ECG machine. Walmart in discount retailing is a non-linear innovation compared to Sears' business model. Canon, the desktop copier, is a non-linear innovation compared to Xerox big copier. Southwest Airlines low-cost air travel is a non-linear innovation compared to a full-line air carrier like Pan Am. Fosbury Flop is a non-linear innovation compared to scissors. Emerging markets presents a very rich opportunity for non-linear innovation, box three innovation. Since this is so important, I thought I should spend some time trying to discuss with you a concept called reverse innovation. And reverse innovation is just an example of a box three opportunity. What exactly is reverse innovation? You see, historically, corporations innovated in a rich country like the US and sold those products in a poor country like India. Reverse innovation is doing exactly the opposite. It's about innovating in a poor country like India and then selling those products in a rich country like the US. When you stop to think about it, reverse innovation is completely counterintuitive. Why? You see, it's perfectly logical to see why a poor man would want a rich man's product. Rich man is driving a car, then poor man wants a car. Rich man has a cell phone, and this poor lady, she wants a cell phone. But it is not that logical to see why a rich man would want a poor man's product. That's the essence of reverse innovation. And I contend reverse innovation will create box three opportunities just about in every industry. Whether we are talking about financial services, healthcare, energy, transportation, consumer products, manufacturing, you name it. In fact, I already pointed out the microfinance, which is a box three innovation that started in a poor country like Bangladesh. The Grameen Bank, the micro-lending institution, that revolution was started by Dr. Muhammad Yunus in Bangladesh. But today, microfinance has transformed the lives of people in over 200 countries, including transforming the lives of the people in the richest country in the world, United States of America. This is a good example of reverse innovation, where an innovation in financial services starts in a poor country and then goes to transform the lives of people in a rich country. You may wonder, why would a rich man ever want a poor man's product? Let me explain that by taking an example from healthcare industry. Again, think about how the healthcare industry is constructed in the US, a rich country. First of all, we spend a lot of money on health in the US. Our costs are out of control. Even after spending all this money, our quality is not best in class. And even after spending all this money, we cannot guarantee access to healthcare to every American. There are close to 60 million Americans who have no access to healthcare. So the US healthcare industry is characterized by ultra-high costs, not necessarily best-in-class quality, and certainly cannot guarantee universal access. Suppose I tell you there are box three non-linear innovations happening in poor countries, which are based on ultra-low-cost healthcare, world-class quality healthcare, and universal access. Wouldn't the rich man not be interested? By the way, when I use the word rich country and poor country, I'm not trying to make any value judgments here. This is not about whether a country is desirable to live or not. This is purely the World Bank definition. According to World Bank, they draw a line of the average per capita income in the world. Any country which falls below that average is supposed to be a poor country. And according to that definition, there are 160 poor countries in the world. In my experience, what I have found is there are a number of innovation experiments going on in these poor countries, which are based on ultra low-cost healthcare, world-class quality healthcare, and universal access. Let me give you 3 examples. The first one I already alluded to. You remember General Electric had a $20,000 ECG machine for the American patients. And when they went into India, initially they took the $20,000 ECG machine into India. They became a niche player in the top 10% of the economic pyramid. Soon they realized there are 90% non-consumers. The reason why box 3 innovation, there is a rich opportunity in emerging markets, is the presence of non-consumers. The world has a population of 7 billion. Of that 7 billion, only 2 billion have the purchasing power to buy the goods and services corporations make. The 5 billion are too poor to afford to buy those goods and services. And the 5 billion non-consumers are a big box 3 innovation opportunity. If you can do breakthrough innovation, you can unlock that value amongst that 5 billion population. And out of the 5 billion population, majority of those poor live in emerging markets. That is why emerging markets is a rich territory for non-consumers. So what GE found was 90% of non-consumers in India. That opportunity can be unlocked if you do box 3 innovation. That's where they came up with a $500 portable, battery-operated, simple-to-use ECG machine. And guess what? That $500 ECG machine is now sold by GE in over 100 countries, including it's creating exciting growth for GE in the US. You may wonder, why would a rich man want that $500 ECG machine? As an example, think about, suppose there is an accident on a highway in the US and an ambulance is going there. You can't put an appliance size $20,000 ECG machine inside the ambulance. But I can put a $500 pocket-sized ECG machine. First example of reverse innovation, where the innovation, box 3 innovation, originates in emerging markets, but then it subsequently defies gravity and transforms the lives of people in rich countries.